people on already that's joining in. Tony, why don't you come in a little bit? We could get both of these into. We got.
There you go.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
And we got that ultimate peacemaking between us. That's
yep.
far con. Hey, well, listen, you live on your page?
I'm live right here on the YouTube channel right here.
Okay, beautiful,
and
beautiful.
Definitely want to welcome you aboard to the John G. Jones Research Lodge, number 147. This is our YouTube page. So definitely we've been planning this for a while.
Yeah, we have been.
So it's been a journey. So tonight, I think this conversation, I think we should ask from the beginning all the way up to when minister made the speech in the garden.
We want to start right from there. Well, man, that's a good place to start.
I mean, because it took, I think, let's start off with you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you and I, how we began to connect in the community and work together and things like that. Being a co-founder of Black Man United, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Being a co-founder of Black Man United.
Well, I actually was in the early part. Okay. I would say one of the founder was Walter Kadumu, Brother Hamid, Reverend Ricky Laster, and a few others. And of course, when we were meeting first, I was there, but I had a representative going for me when they first started at the BCA.
Okay.
And that was my dear brother Carl. May we keep him in our prayers, as he has been under in a somewhat of a comatose state for about 3 years now. But Brother Carl was actually going to the meeting for me when we first started BMU.
Okay, okay. And then we go from there, and then I remember Brother Derek Muhammad. That's Darren Muhammad.
Brother Darren, that's right.
He's that bridge.
That's right, Brother Darren.
He's definitely that bridge, and we began to really correspond. And then I sent out an invite and invited you to come to one of our dinners. You came. You received the reward, and I think that really connected us in a sense. And I know I'm like almost like a register. I should go and register with the mosque.
You did go by Tony Muhammad for a while, but we could talk about that because it's the new move at our mosque. So we could talk about that. But I think but you were back there. Now we knew each other from back then because you got to remember that, we were at your church, Southeast Presbyterian.
Yep. And
Pastor Harry Cooper was there, and you were one of the good helpers that was there. So that's 20 years ago. So you were there when we were at BMU.
Man, you're taking me back a little bit now. You're taking me back a little bit now. And then, let's move the conversation forward. When I began to run for city council, I came to you looking for advice, just to say, hey, man, is this possible? And you was like, it's possible if you want it to be possible. What are your thoughts?
That's right.
And I'm like, heck, I think I could do this. You said, well, if you believe you could do it, well, let's push the envelope.
That's right.
However, things didn't go necessarily the way we would have liked, but there's nothing wrong with having the experience of getting your feet wet, understanding the political process, and knowing what it's all about. And I thank you for that leadership in my life, and definitely saying, hey, you probably want to try this or do that, and then giving me time on your radio station. Giving me that time.
That's right. That's right. When we had the Sunday program, a couple times you came on.
Right.
That's
definitely.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And not only that, then when the minister came to San Diego, 2012, you say, hey, I was there. I was like, hey, I want to help. You was like, okay, here's what I need you to do.
That's right.
And just being involved, and I think between being a Freemason and someone who's been involved with the mosque and someone who's being involved with the church, to me, that's the way things are supposed to happen.
That's right.
We're not, like you say, we're not supposed to be religiously gang banging.
That's right.
I got that from you.
You got that from me? Spiritual gang banging?
Yeah, spiritually gang banging.
Yes, sir.
We don't do that here.
That's right.
And I got that. And then this is that drive for me. Like I said the other day, what I try to do is, my thing is to post up a picture of an individual who's influenced in my life. And if you went to my Facebook page, I had you up there.
I did see the picture. My wife said you should show us a better picture. I'm gonna bust her out, not bust her out, but she said, "Man, honey, I like the different picture." But I know you pulled that down from someplace.
I did.
One thing, our families have been very good. Your wife and my wife and you and me, we've always had a great relationship as well. So
yes,
it's not like we have, our families have also been pretty good with each other as well. So that's a blessing as well.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Now, after the minister comes in 2012, right?
Yes.
We still begin to develop and work on a relationship that you and I have, not only in the community, but as a family.
Yes.
And then with the different banquets that you've helped me to assist with. And then I think last year, Brother Dimitri,
he was there.
Yeah, he was there.
Brother
And to have him there and then to introduce you, to me, was indeed an honor and a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
And then I remember when I said, I want to write the minister. He was like, go ahead, write the minister. Yeah, what do you? I said, I like the minister to become a Mason. You was like, really? I was like, yeah. You was like, write the letter.
That's right.
It got to him.
Now my letter took a little while because, of course, I kind of dropped the ball a little bit on that one. We got to be honest. Truth is always good.
Well,
we got it, but we didn't get it to him. And then we used Brother Don Enoch.
Okay.
And we went through the brother in Baltimore.
Brother Marcus.
Brother Marcus.
Yeah.
Brother
Marcus. I would say this. That brother, when I called him and told him what I wanted to do, he was like, okay, let's make it happen. And then and here's the thing. When you got to Atlanta, you called me. You was like, could you fax this letter over to me? Because there's a letter already here. And then you say, wait a minute, there's 2 letters there. He was like, when they started reading the letter, it
was the one letter.
Yes. He was like, oh, okay. You said like, okay. But having that connection and making that happen and getting the minister the letter, both letters got there at the same time. And mind you, Brother Rashid Muhammad, who's the Grand Master out of Carolina, we didn't know each other. Everything was perfectly lined up for that to happen.
Yes.
Everything. And so in knowing that, and now, here we are. You called me up, you said, look, the minister wants you in, I think, like a week or so. Boom. We got that thing rolling, and it happened. And people, you know what? People was like, that's Photoshop.
Oh, yeah, they thought you made that up.
Man, that didn't happen.
I was see you could Photoshop me into the picture. You know what I mean? That really would have been Photoshop. But I was in Jamaica at the time, so I wasn't able to make it, too. But I heard y'all had something like a 6-8 hour day.
It was, yes.
With the minister, from the afternoon until dinner.
Yes. As a matter of fact, when the minister came down, in his glow, I mean, everybody stopped chitter-chatting.
I know this is your interview, right?
Well, bro, it's a conversation.
No. But I want to say, when you finish that, so I want you to talk about what it was like. You told me you about to talk about the glow coming down the steps. Well, I wanted you also to talk about what really made you want to do that. So after you get to that point,
you really want to know the truth?
I really want to. So finish this point first, though.
All right. So when the minister came in, the chitter chat that was going to stop. He instantly, with his presence, demanded your attention. We stopped and we was like, "Oh my God!" we really hit. We started like hitting each other with the elbow. Man, did you see the minister? And I'm standing 6'3". I shrunk a little bit, like damn, like that, But it was an honor, man. Let me tell you, to sit at that table with those brothers, that was indeed an honor. Now, back to what you were saying. You want to ask me a question?
Well, I was going to say, what really made you want to do that? You and I, like you said, we enjoy a great relationship. At one time, you had your name, your Facebook name, or
I did.
Your what they call social media name was Tony Muhammad.
Yes.
You changed it to Tony Muhammad.
Yes.
And a lot of people asked, did he change your name to Tony Muhammad? And of course, you would go to church, and oftentimes, you would come to the mosque. After church, or sometimes you come to the mosque and go to church, depending on what you were doing. So it's not like we have not had that relationship.
No,
so,
not at all.
What made you really want to do that? Because it was really on you. God had put something on you.
He absolutely. It was what we as Freemasons say, that we are out to help good men become better men. Well, that was a man that has been on the scene for years, that has been doing exactly that. Why not honor him? Why not say, you are a Grand Master of Masons? Why not? I mean, you see his work. It's not like you don't see his work. And you see the efforts in his heart that he puts in the community, and everybody that he touches them to the heart, to the core. You want to act right when you're around him. You don't want to say any bad words when you, as a matter of fact, on the spot, you want to stop eating pork. You want to start living right when you in his presence. I'm just telling you, no. You just like, I'm good.
You would have followed all the laws, even though you may not even know them, huh?
Yes, absolutely. So, with that being said, as I talked with my grandmaster at the time, Captain Sanders, and he was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. You was like, yeah, write the letter. Brother Marcus Sachs was like, yeah, but I'm going to tighten this letter up for you a little bit, just like you said, and we're going to make this happen. So the desire is that this man, if anybody ever, if I'm going to call any man a grandmaster man, he's going to be that guy. And I want to be on his team.
Yeah.
So that was the driving force for me in regards to writing a letter and having it out there. What greater man could you ever have on your side? If you're going to talk about a man that represents God in the flesh before us today, why not him?
That's right. You know, I was going to say, and I'm going to jump in again real quick because I think it really sparks something in me as I'm thinking about this. You know, the minister have been given many honors, and you know, a few Saviors day ago, he read a plaque where members of the Jewish community gave him a plaque calling him the Messiah. We saw that Omega gave him the highest honor as being one of the founding fathers, and then you and many others have done this, you know, given him the highest possible. Explain what the apron mean when you bestow on the minister the apron. What does the apron mean?
Well, the apron, the Masonic apron, is one of the most honorable. It's a badge of a Mason. It clearly says, this is who I am. It's more ancient than the Roman fleets of Rome, more honorable than the garter of kings and princes. Anything that a man can bestow upon you, the apron is the ultimate. It is like the pinnacle. We talk about everything else, but the Masonic apron is the it factor when you're talking about you're going to honor somebody. And that was well deserving. And not only that, I had brothers. That was 6 different Masonic jurisdictions there. Okay, all in favor of saying, this minister, this is you. You are our Grand Master. Yes. Okay, so be it from, and not only that, he lectured us in regards to the hot burning sands and how it, man, he did things. But in the process of doing that, what I really enjoyed is the mere fact that we was there. His daughter was a witness to what was happening, okay? And we had the privilege of giving him these honors. And then the famous question was that he asked of us, my brothers, if you give these to me, can there be anybody come behind you and take this? A couple of us said a few words, you know, like it was like, no, nobody. After this is done, I don't care who it is. Nobody can come behind us and undo anything we've done. Nobody. No other grand masters, no other potentates, no other anybody. This is yours, given by your people.
Yes, sir.
And he was, man, a smile. It was like looking into the sun. I'm just letting you know how I felt at the time.
Yes, sir. Man, that's
and there was some of us there even shedding a tear. I ain't never seen a grown man cry because another grown man is speaking, but it was actually happening. And that was the honor and pleasure of being before the minister at that time. I'm speaking truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So that was indeed a pleasure. And then after that, I get the phone call from you saying, you want to meet me in Detroit?
Yeah, that's right.
He was like, you want to meet me in Detroit? I was like, oh, man, why not? I'm in Chicago. He was like, hey, this is what I need you to do. Man.
Where did you sit on that? They had you on the balcony or something like that?
Bruh.
Where did that?
Bruh. I was on stage.
Oh, you made it to the stage?
I was on stage with the minister, okay? All the dignitaries.
Yes, sir.
You know. Oh, did I feel like somebody? Hell, I was somebody.
That's right.
That day, you couldn't tell me nothing.
That's right.
Brother. And I'm telling you to look out and see what he was seeing. It's a wrap. To see them soldiers march in, to see them sisters, bro, it was a wrap. And there's nothing like it. And then to know that you was there, and brothers from the mosque was there, sisters from this mosque was there. I was at home.
Wow.
I was at home. There's nothing like the love of your people when it's genuine love. I'm not talking about somebody that says they love you and yet trying to do you in. I'm talking about somebody that says, yeah, man, I love you. Meet me here and I got you.
Yeah, and you back that up too, Brother Tony, because everything that we have done, and you talk about how supportive you, everything that we have done in the mosque, whether it's our galas, you and Sister Linda have been there, whether it's like now when you come to our food drive, and both you and your wife you've come multiple times, just about every week, except if you're working or something like that. You and members from the lodge, come to support I My Brother's Keeper food drive that's sponsored by the mosque, number 8 and Paving Great Futures. But the lodge is a part of that and many other organizations. So we thank you for your continuous support of what we have done here in helping to further the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the Minister Farrakhan. I'm going to turn it back over to you, but I have just one more point that I wanted to make. We started talking about July 4th, and I think the minister's address on the criterion, which I think is so critical in where we are and what we're doing. How did you take that message? I've watched it countless amount of times. I was watching it again yesterday and just taking more notes from it. What was your thoughts as you heard the minister on that July 4th?
Oh man, he said so much. 2.5 hours of speaking, and it touched me because he was laying it all out. He was just, this is it. It's like the paper says, final call. This is it. Like he says, you can take this and let it alone, but let me tell you, there's a greater power behind me, and this is it. And taking that and understanding that, hey, watch what's happening before your very eyes. And he's giving you prophecy right as he's talking. And these things, he's saying, you may not hear from me for a minute. I'm not going where you just may not hear from me in a minute, but watch what I say. And the things I'm telling you now are going to come to pass. That's what I got from that. It touched me.
Yes,
I don't know about everybody else that was there. And then I come to find out.
I'm grateful to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan for giving me the privilege of being on the farm with him. It was a very extraordinary position, and to be honest, I was even honored the following day. I had the opportunity to meet with him for over 2 hours.
Wow.
And that was on that Sunday, which we expected to go and give him the greetings and probably, talk for about 10, 15 minutes maybe. And if you get 15 minutes of the minister's time, you got a third of a day.
Bruh.
That's the whole day.
He counseled everything. They came to him. I think Don went over to him. I think you got some more meetings. He was like, oh no, you can cancel those. I'm with my brothers.
And that was very big to him, because when we were in Atlanta, like you said, we went over the letter. We looked up, the thing with apron mean. That's why I wanted to mention it to the audience. I know some of your audience that's listening.
Not only talking about what the apron mean now, you got one in the back too now.
Oh,
but see, you got one in the back.
I got a little apron back
there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. They must have strategically put that there. They knew you were coming in.
Is that?
No. That's a good place for it when it comes in with some of the other things. You have also given me another plaque.
Well, that plaque, the apron, there's a plaque that's with that apron. And even though minister may have the other apron, the Grand Master apron.
Right.
And you have the apron of a past master. The point is that on your plaque, it tells you what that apron means on your plaque. So you got the letter that I've written through Brother Marcus X and yourself and a plaque.
And I still got the letter that you wrote. I still got it home.
Well. Yeah.
So listen, let's look at July 4th. I know our time is probably short.
No, our time ain't short. We got this.
So one of the things for July 4th, one of the most important things, and as we see the situation right now going on with the constant killing, from going back all the way to Trayvon Martin in 2013 or 12, whenever that was. All the way to Jacob, Brother Jacob, just a couple of days ago. And of course the viciousness that we saw in our brother in Minneapolis, George Floyd. Breonna Taylor, the list is so long. And the minister actually talked about that, particularly with the police, we call the jump out squad that's jumping out. And they said that the frustration of blacks are growing, and that's what people don't understand. You know, a lot of times across the country, the high frustration that's taking place now amongst our people. You know, so that's something that's very critical as we see the Democratic convention, the political convention. So that's stuff that we see coming from their hand. You know, so my Willie and I was talking, my wife and I was talking, and I was talking to somebody else in the Quran. There's a statement in the Quran that said vehement hatred of come from their mouth, and what their hearts conceal is greater yet. And so we see the hatred that's come from their mouth, that's also from their hands. But the law was saying in the Quran that what's in their heart is greater, and that's where this vaccine comes up. One of the greatest warnings that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan could have given to us, and we could see that black leadership across the country right now, whether it's at the Heston or the CDC and others, black leadership across the country jumping on board to try to get our people to be at the forefront of taking these vaccines. And that we're not anti-vaccine, but we're definitely anti-certain vaccines. One of them, of course, being the polio vaccine, and the other one, what they call the MMR or something like measles, mumps, and rubella. We were against that vaccine, and definitely the minister have said that we should not take this vaccine that's coming until we have personally used our own scientists, our virologists, epidemiologists, you know, infectious disease specialists to make sure that that this vaccine is safe for our people to take. But we see a lot of people throughout the country, and a lot of major organizations are now rushing to get our people to join and to take the vaccine. You know, and that's, so for me, one of the biggest things that came out of July 4th, many key points the minister made, but one of the biggest things was warning us of the wicked machination and the intent of members in the cabal within the United States government, the synagogue of Satan, and you know, those that desire to see us destroyed. So that's one of the things that, you know, I got one of the greatest things with that. And so I urge all of you who are watching, spread the word. Don't get involved in the trial. Don't be a lab rat for these different scientists. You know, and at some point we know we may need it, but we need to talk about how we eat. You mentioned earlier about, you know, when we the president and minister, you know, we'll quit eating pork. And, well, hell, we should quit eating pork because the hog is a filthy animal. I didn't quit eating pork because I came to the nation. I quit eating pork before I came to the nation of Islam, because I had some family from England, and I was a young boy in the early teens, and I was in Boston, actually, where the minister is from, where he grew up. And they brought some ham out and put some, we had something that's called teen. It's similar to like 7-Up or something like that. And they poured it and they put a glass over it and left it there for a couple hours. I came back in the sun, you saw worms crawling around. So later on, I learned through the teaching that is a strychnine worm. So, and then somebody said to me, now think about this. Anything that is on, if you get a can of pork or something like that, it said this is cured. They said if it tell you it's cured, it must have been sick. Now, why would you want to eat something? So that's even before I came into the nation. Before I knew what Leviticus said, you know, and things of that nature. So we have to start to really practice greater prevention, and that's why you see behind me, How to Eat to Live, is one of the books that's right there in that cabinet by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's very critical for us to start to change how we do, because that's a part of fighting against the diseases that they create, that these pharmaceuticals can make a lot of money. Difference with this one is they didn't make this one, so they can't control it. So that's part of my big piece with the ministers. I will start my Wednesday show starting next week. I'll put a little plug out there on Facebook.
Okay, let's see. You know what? Where can we find your show at on Wednesdays?
It will be on Monster Number 8 Facebook Live page. We would do it. And I also encourage everybody to view the minister on the time of when must be done. He covers a tremendous amount. You know, this is your show. I'm gonna wait until
No, because this is our conversation, though. It may be my show, but it's our conversation. So when you say that, and you're trying to get people to wake up, we want people to wake up. See, this is what the virus did. It put you in your home where you really couldn't come out. All you had were books and social media. And you had an opportunity and a time to really think and reflect. Now, I'm gonna bring it to this point. In Freemasonry, when a brother is getting ready to be brought into the Masonic Lodge, we put them in a room to think and reflect.
Come on.
And then once they come out, we call it being brought from darkness to light. So now everyone who was in a room had a time to think and reflect. So when they come out of this room, their house, wherever they may have been during this quarantine, they have seen some things now.
Yes.
They've seen a man get killed. Police officer got his knee on his neck. They've seen people get shot in the back. They've seen some things. Now they're upset. They're tired. See, at one point, when you look at it, before that, people was in their daily lives. That doesn't bother me. They was going about their business. You couldn't go about your business regularly during this epidemic. You had to sit. You watch TV. You watch media. Things began to open your eyes into what was actually happening to black people. Now you have an opportunity to sit and see for yourself. This is not rumors that they have no-knock warrants and come in the house blazing.
Yes.
These are actually things that was happening. And now that is in a spotlight showing you the brutality of the police officers and how they treat us. Now you can't backpedal. You can't go back to sleep now.
That's right. That's right.
You're awake, and if you try to go back to sleep, you almost have nightmares.
That's right. Hey, Brother Dietrich, if you're looking at this, bring me a copy of the Final Call newspaper down here for us. We got to hold it up because it actually have Breonna Taylor, and we back publicly with the Final Call newspaper. Now, you're on my list to be one of my customers, by the way, so don't let nobody recruit you.
Okay.
You already spoke before. You're on my list already.
Sound like Sister Mary when she
on the dinners, but that's the dinner call, right? That's the dinner call. It's a different situation we're dealing with right here, right now. We deal with the Final Call newspaper.
Okay.
I know Sister Mary probably watching too, and Bernard, Brother Bernard, but I got this one on the Final Call newspaper, but we just came back out because, we came out the street because of the concern, but we're now back where we're going somewhat in back in community. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. So this is the new Final Call, and on the front of it, of course, is justice for Breonna, and that's the no-knock warrant that you were talking about that actually happened in Kentucky, I think it is, and you actually had the brother from Kentucky on the Republican convention mentioning Breonna Taylor's name, but he had not arrested those police officers or charged them for running and kicking into the wrong door and shooting and killing our sister. And I don't even know if they're fired from their job or they're still collecting a paycheck, but yet still our sister. So we want to remind everyone, you could hit me up on Facebook Live, send me your address and whatever. Now, well, you can reach me, inbox me, and we can make sure we get you a home delivery of the Final Call newspaper to keep up to date with everything that's going on. I just thought it would be good for me to mention that you talked about no-knock warrants and those things that are happening. And a young lady in her 20s, their life just cut short, just like that, but nobody have paid the price, for it.
And that's the thing. We often hear the chat, no justice, no peace. That is so true. That is so true. And a lot of times I believe that what we really want to say, we don't say, because if we said it, it would upset the apricot tree.
Yeah.
It really would.
Well, it's coming to a point where I heard somebody say the other day, just like what happened in Texas, I think it was a couple places where police officers were actually, shot. The realization, the frustration of people are getting to where they don't know how to control certain things. That's not something that we want to see, but we have to understand when people get upset. Those are things that people don't want to say. What do it take for us to start to pay attention to the injustices that is taking place throughout America? And we can't feel that every time we raise the question of injustice, that people want to make it seem like it's reverse this or reverse that.
Every time.
So we really have to make sure that we let people know exactly where we are, where we stand, and what must be done. And that's what the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been. You know, and you talked about certain things earlier. You know, for me, and you mentioned, you know, maybe you have to join the nation. I'm going to tell you, that's what black people need to be doing. I'm just being honest. We can still remember now. We got a bunch of Muslims that are Masons.
Yeah.
That are Kappas, Alphas, Omegas.
Yes, they are.
Deltas.
Yep.
I don't want to leave nobody out. AKAs. You know. Sigmas.
Yeah.
Thetas. Betas. You know.
Yeah.
But Muslim just mean we go obey God.
Correct.
And we got to come to that point now where we don't make labels, as we said earlier, separate us, you know, from the love of God. Well, we got to start doing the thing. Then that's what Minister Farrakhan really meant. One of his first messages, he talks about the earth is carrying a burden. You know, and what the earth produces, not the burden, but what is on the earth is the burden. And that burden is the burden of sin. He said we cannot live on an earth that was created for truth while we're living a lie or practicing lies. And this world is a hateful world. And that's why, you know, when you talk about justice, you know, and Dr. King said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Yes.
But remember what the Bible says. You know, the Bible says in the book of, I think it's Isaiah, it says justice stands afar off. Equity cannot enter because truth have fallen in the street. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that justice is the weapon that God will use in the final day to judge. He said justice, you know, it lays down with you at night and it gets up with you in the morning. The principle of justice is the principle of fair and equitable dealing, as taught to us from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that's something that, you know, America is not willing to really look at.
Man.
And to really deal with on an honest.
They don't want you to have justice. Real justice. They don't want you to have equality and liberty. The thing they talk about, you know, justice for all, liberty for all. They don't want us to have it. Everybody else can have it, but they don't want us to have it. You know, okay, so you tell me it's a 100-yard dash, and then next year it's a 110-yard dash because I beat you at the 100 yards. You didn't move the net. And every time we get to kick the field goal, you move the goalpost back. So you set the bar, and then we meet the bar. You want to move the bar.
That's right.
So these are the things that we have to personally deal with in our day-to-day activities and our day-to-day journey. And you talk about black people should join the nation. And I agree with that. Now here's the kickback to it. We often talk about what we don't have. Well, here's what I know in my dealings with the nation. You want to go to an all-black school or a school that's going to teach you about you? The nation has it. You want to eat right? You want your food grown from some land that you participate in buying? The nation has it. You want to talk to doctors that look like you, that care about your health? The nation has it. You can. I'm just saying, the stuff that we're looking for, the things that we talk about that we need, the nation has it. It's just the ideal of participating. It's the ideal of coming and joining, not just joining to say you're part of the nation, but actually participating, seeing what it's all about. You know, a lot of people have this stereotype about who the nation is.
Yes.
You need to come to the mosque and check them out. That's what I did.
That's right.
I got tired of hearing people, well, you know, that Farrakhan guy, you don't want to be around that Farrakhan guy. I'm like, well, he ain't told me to go shoot nobody or kill nobody. Let me go check this out for myself.
That's right.
So when you guys was off Imperial.
Yes.
So when I made that journey down there, and I'm like, oh, this
3040 Imperial.
This is I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm coming back for some more. All right, you guys moved again. Where y'all at? You move, I'm moving, just like that.
Just like that.
So the ideal is when you talk about the nation and what they have, what you need.
The challenge, so much work has been put into, you know, Minister Ishmael, who's been doing a fantastic job, the minister's national assistant on Sundays, he brought up a J. Edgar Hoover and a memo that was put out in 1969 that they wanted to strive to destroy the nation, and the goal was to put people in leadership that would take the nation on another course. And that's part of the challenge that people.
I hear more about Jesus in the mosque than I hear in the church. Don't tell me that.
They can't believe it. Because
don't tell me that.
You really can't even be a Muslim unless you love Jesus. The thing is that we try to teach you who Jesus is.
Now, I'm going to bring something to you. When you say that, now, as a Shriner,
yes,
as a Shriner, we supposed to pray 5 times a day. The Muslim prayer as a Shriner.
As a Shriner.
Okay. Now, as a Knights Templar, which is more so on the Christian side of things, in my jurisdiction, you can't be a Shriner unless you are a 32nd Knights Templar, and then they both come together. That's why you have a scimitar, which represents the shrine, the Shriner, and then you have the ones that comes down there. If you turn it that way, you have the moon and the crescent.
Come on now. Good God Almighty.
It's a connection. The ideal is a lot of Masons and Shriners don't want to say that. But I'm letting you know, you can't have one without the other.
Why don't you think that? Because if you think about what the apron signifies, a man that teaches a man to be a better man. And you talked about that's what the Nation of Islam is all about. You know, is to teach men and women to be better by themselves, by their families, and by every individual. If you think about what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put, what we want, a lot of people talk about us, you know, but what we want, he said on point number 2, he said, we want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. So just think about this. This was on the Muhammad Speaks back in the 60s. You know, on the back page of Muhammad Speaks, been on the front, the back, inside of the Final Call newspaper. So when we talk about justice, we ain't talking about justice for black people, justice for Spanish people, or justice for Muslims. We're talking about justice for every human being. Because as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, justice is the principle of fair and equitable dealing. And that's what we're all about. So you got to ask yourself, why then a man like the Honorable Minister Farrakhan is this much hate? I got to say this, though.
Go ahead.
I got to say this.
Go
now,
and say it.
I'm looking at the news, and I'm looking at the July 4th. All these people coming out against everybody who was at the farm and everything else like that, and the ADL and the Southern Poverty Laws and others coming out calling them this, that, and the other. I ain't hear not one of them say a peep about George Floyd murder. I ain't hear not one of them come out and condemn police for Brianna, nor for our brother Jacob that just got killed. None of them, but a man who have stood for us. We would allow them to come and tell us to lie on Minister Farrakhan, just like Vlad did, DJ Vlad did on the minister, and then try to make himself seem like he's some sympathetic. As the minister said at the farm, they can call me a racist. They can call me anti-this thing, but they can't prove none of it.
And did he offer his life if they can prove?
Listen, I don't know what. Listen, and $100,000.
Yeah.
Either if you're afraid to try to take his life, try to get the money.
Get the money. Get the money.
Get the money. But because they know we got the goods on them, they don't. Listen, we've challenged them to come out and have the discussion. Just like in this city. Listen, I work with preachers up and down San Diego. There's not a church I can't go into. Now, they may not all like me, but they, you know, they're going to be mindful. Why? Because they can't prove that I've done anything, you know, against them or against any human being. As Minister Farrakhan told me when we came under attack, challenge them to prove one thing that any of his followers have done to harm another human being. I go into any of the mosques. So we don't spiritual gangbang. We live the life that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us to live. We strive to live that life. We ain't all perfect in the mosque. So I know some of y'all say, well, y'all don't know brother so-and-so. Y'all don't know sister so-and-so. They be turning it up. Hey. Tell us who they are and we'll turn them out. But don't try to put it like everybody. We ain't Hoover. We ain't investigating people. They're in the process, and we show them what it is, and we hope that we will change and become better each and every day.
But it is a process.
It's a process.
And it's not a process that's gonna happen the next day.
No.
It's a continuous thing.
That's right.
And that's what people have to realize. You know, you the process of becoming a perfect man.
A perfect man. Ooh,
okay.
Tony, stop right there. Oh. Now you said something that gonna get you in trouble, man.
No, I'm not.
Did you say in the process of becoming a perfect man or woman?
Yes.
Don't that go against what we've been taught? You can't be perfect.
Oh no, man. See, that's the illusion.
Come on,
that's
talk
the
to me
illusion of
about that.
occlusion. See, they tell you, oh, you can't be perfect. No. Did not the Christ man say, "Be ye perfect as I am perfect"?
That's right.
So,
your Father in heaven is perfect. That's right.
If that is so, and you call yourself a Christian or whatever you want to call yourself, and that is so, why not?
Come on now.
Why not be in the process of becoming perfect? Let me tell you. In the Masonic order, we have what you call a perfect master.
Come on.
Okay, that degree teaches you the process of becoming a perfect mason, or in growth of becoming a master mason. Even though we may say he's a master mason, what has he mastered? He hasn't mastered anything, but he's become proficient in those preceding degrees to help him to become a master. So he is in the process of becoming a master, just like you're in the process of becoming a perfect man. It's a process.
Come on, that's right.
Okay, so no.
One thing the minister told us, is he talks about in the July 4th, he said, enter, they call it shelter in place, but he said, enter into your chamber and close the door.
Right.
Because it gives us an opportunity to really look at ourselves and to study. Like you said, you got your books.
Yep.
And you got social media and TV and games. Now, some of us ain't cracked the Bible or the Quran yet. We ain't lift up something, but we are on Facebook now.
We are on Facebook.
We are on Facebook.
We on Facebook.
Snapchat,
Instagram, TikTok. Hey, watch out there.
Is there a WikiWalk?
Is there a WikiWalk?
No, I'm making up stuff.
You make it. Hey, you probably gonna have to clone that thing. Put a patent on it. Somebody may come out with it. For real.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Although we laugh, we work very hard in this community by God's grace. And it's one of those things that I know we probably end up doing it. Wait
a minute. Let's take a look at that. Mason, Mason, has my son. Mason. I'm just saying.
And then Muslim.
I mean, when I think of Muslim, I think of Islam, meaning one who's worthy, one like perfect. The word is perfect.
Submission, obedience.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes,
there.
Yes.
So
let's explore that. I think it's something. I got my brother Deshaun here who is videoing this today, and brother Dietrich. They're really working hard in developing some skills in video and technology. So I'm looking forward to that. Tonight, we were really light and just looking at some of the things. And looking at the honor that you bestowed on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and also the honor that you and your Grand Master bestowed on me here locally. I'm very grateful. And great what we do is the work that we do with the believers at Mosque number 8 goes from the lodge. And I think we have to start to create a greater union. We have to come more into the way of God and obedience and turning away from this world that is bent on destroying us. And
absolutely.
That's why, the 18th chapter of the 18th chapter of Revelation tells us to come out of her, my people. Be not partakers of her sins nor her plagues.
We need to come out.
we got to come out. It's like that movie, what is it called? Get Out?
Get out, for real.
We got to get out. We got to come out. But first, it's that mental and spiritual and emotional separation that we need to take. Let's just be honest, Tony. America gives us a way. If we want to drink a beer, we drink a beer. We want to smoke a joint, they make it legal to smoke a joint. You want to have a wife, 2 girlfriends, or a boyfriend, hell, they allow you to do that too. So when you come up into the way of God now to say, I'm going to discipline my life according to the law that God gave to Moses through the principles of love that Jesus gave, that God gave to Jesus, and through the principles of duty that God gave to Muhammad. So now you got law, love, and duty. When you put all 3 of those together, that's the beginning of a human being being perfect. We can't get away from the law of God and obeying that. But America tells us,
But see, that reminds me, when you said that, it reminded me of the motto of the Freemason.
Come on.
The fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man. Love, faith, and charity.
Come on now.
So that thing what you were saying earlier in regards to the Mason and the Muslim, or the Muslim and the Mason, there may just be a connection there. I'm just saying.
It is a connection.
Because the more we talk, the more we find, the more jewels that are being dropped, and having a better understanding about the craft and what it means to me, and about Islam and what you can teach me. You can actually teach me and show me.
But the respect we have for each other from being a Mason, and the respect we have for being a Muslim. And that's why you look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. you know, and the honor and the love he gave to the Masons. And you look at the honor and the love that he gave to that Jewish community and the Jewish people who bestowed on him a plaque that said, "You are the Messiah."
Yes.
As he taught, or the honor and love, and the honor and love that he showed and gave to the Omegas for bestowing on him the robe. But the honor that the minister give really to every human being, you know, really makes us have to take another look at him and to see exactly what is it about this man, because he's not asking you to choose a religion.
No,
not
at all.
Asking you to choose a color. He's asking to choose principles of justice.
When we was at the minister's house, he said this to us that was sitting at the table. He said, if you're going to use my name,
come on,
use my name to unite.
Come on, that's right.
If you're going to say the minister is part of your Masonic body, if you're going to say that, and I've taken these honors that you've given me, but I put on your collar, yes, I accepted your robe, your cuffs, your books that you gave me. I've accepted that. And if you're going to use my name, come on, use it to unite. Don't use it to divide. And that indeed in itself is an honor and privilege to say the minister is a part of my fraternal lodge.
Come on.
So I have to use his name to unite. I can't use his name to divide.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So this is the uniqueness of being a part of something bigger and greater than you are, and working on becoming the perfect man. The process of coming in and becoming a Muslim, yes, and then taking that and applying it to your life. In Freemasonry, you have what you call working tools. They are not actual working tools. They're symbolically used to help shape your thought in your mind. The greatest war that's going to ever be fought is going to be fought up here.
Up top.
People looking in the sky for something.
No, this is the sky right here.
This is the highest you're going to get.
That's right.
This is it. This is where the battle is taken. So when you understand that as Masons, we take those working tools that are used by operative Masons and use them for speculative Masons, meaning that we're going to take that level that they have to make sure that things are level. We're going to apply that level to our life. So when I meet you, I'm meeting you on the level. We're going to take that square and we're going to square our actions. And we're going to take that plumb and we're going to walk upright.
Come on now.
Okay?
Come on.
So as Masons, we have these working tools. The ideal is most of us don't want to apply the working tools, regardless of your jurisdiction. Remember, I told you there were 6 jurisdictions there. Okay?
Yeah.
But there are more jurisdictions. Let's take, for instance, my brothers of the Prince Hall affiliation of Freemasonry.
Yes.
Okay? Now, there may be some distinction between the Prince Hall brothers and myself. Okay?
Either because one is black, one is white. That's
no.
I'm just asking, Tony.
No.
I mean, Tony, I don't know. I'm going to the basics. Is Prince Hall the one that's over there in Mission Valley?
No, man.
Who's them?
That's them big boys over there. That's them white boys.
Okay.
In Mission Valley, that big lodge over there.
Yeah. That's what they call?
They call them mainstream Freemasons.
That's mainstream.
That's
okay.
mainstream.
So that's what I thought you were talking about.
No.
So Prince Hall is
Prince Hall is us, but it is a fraction of us. It is like looking in the mirror and looking back at yourself when you don't like what you see.
Ooh. That's called self-hate, Tony.
Oh, yes, sir. Now I'm not saying all are like that. I'm just saying this is what you get when you don't understand who you are.
Yes.
When you are a Mason and you see another black Mason who may not, this reminds me of the religious gang banging, the spiritual gang banging we was talking about.
Yes.
Here I am, I go to the Church of God in Christ. Here you are a Baptist, but you don't like me because we over here telling you that if you don't that you have to be filled with the Holy Ghost, and you're telling me, okay, that's fine, but you have to be baptized in the name of Jesus. Both of you claiming Jesus.
That's right. They know apostolic and so many other stuff.
Yes.
Why are we banging like this?
Why are you banging like that? And I'm going to tell you, I'm being honest, it happens in Freemasonry because they haven't yet matured. See, when you got an immature saint or immature Freemasons, this is what you get. And it causes distinction because they have not yet risen to that level. See, I was told a long time ago by a past Grand Master, his name is Frank J. Bobo. He said, son, water reaches its own level.
That's right.
And it took me, I'm in my 50s, and that was some 30 years ago, and I'm just now catching this.
Mm.
Understanding water does reaches its own level. And when water reaches its own level, it's leveled out. If you want to make sure anything is level, place water on the table.
It will roll right through it.
It's going to reach its own. Absolutely. It is a fact. And this is what hurts me sometimes in Freemasonry, when I see my brother who looks like me, but you don't want to talk to me because of some crap that happened over 200 years ago, and neither one of us are alive. This right now, this day and time for which we live in, right now is one of the most pivotal opportunities that we have to unite. I'm not saying you got to come to my house. I'm saying that when we see each other, we have to understand we're in the same fight.
Yes.
We have to understand that. And this is what I get from the minister. When he says, if you're going to do anything, use my name to unite.
Yeah.
Because we're in the same fight.
That's right.
So what is it for me to look in the mirror and say, I don't like you because you live in your big house? I got a house, but it's a little smaller. That don't make no sense, man. We both got a house.
We both got a house. Brother, I think we got to continue the conversation. I want to give one shout out, though, because I think one of the persons that helped to build our relationship in the very beginning was Brother Darren. We mentioned him.
Yeah, Brother Darren.
Darren really was a tremendous bridge as a Mason, as a Muslim. And we probably had to do a Zoom call one time and bring him in as well.
Right.
To get him involved in it. But, brother, I remember back in the day, Darren would do a lot of the reaching out for me to different areas, and we have enjoyed, some relationships in the past. Also with our dear brother, who his nephew is one of the ministers stops security.
That's Brother Greg Mitchell.
Brother Greg.
Now,
brother
see,
Greg.
let me tell you something about Brother Greg Mitchell, and if you don't already know. See, Brother Greg Mitchell is part of what we call the ancient free and accepted Mason. We're not Prince Hall. We just practice ancient
free.
Yeah, ancient free right here. See, you see who's
on
the
the
shirt,
Mr.
right?
Farrakhan is on this show.
Come on now, talk back to me. So it's called ancient craft masonry, and in the process, yes, he's been part of that. He's that guy that has definitely helped build a relationship also.
Yeah.
Just like you've gone to his functions.
That's right.
We've brought tables. We've done those things. And this is the example. See, the minister is the example of a Freemason.
Yes.
He's the example of a Christian.
That's right.
He's the example of a Muslim.
That's
if
right.
you ever going to say, I'm going to follow a man, if you ever going to say, I want a man that's going to be the example to me, he is that example.
That example. That's right, brother. No, that is 100% correct, and it's a beautiful example for us to follow. The example that brings you and I together as brothers, like if use my name, use it to unite.
Absolutely,
brother. I'm so honored that you asked me to come on your show. Now it's our show.
Oh yeah,
that we have to figure out how to get it done. But as a conversation to talk about community issues,
also, absolutely,
to talk about the things, because we really have to have a voice. We find a good time in which to do it, and work to be consistent in developing the show together. So,
if you got a few more minutes, hold on.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I've been watching this chat line. It's been really like on fire, like blowing up. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to send some shout outs real quick.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And you can do the same, but let me just hit up a few people real quick here, like Brother Joshua, Brother Jonathan, Michael White, Randolph Taylor, Philip German, Mr. James, what's going on with you? Sound 1120. Just to hit up these individuals really come out and they support, and I appreciate them for tuning in. I see Brother Barry is live on here tonight. Oh yeah, most definitely. And just and Brother Larry Diamond, who is the administrator in the chat room, thank you for coming out and supporting tonight. This has been totally awesome, and I believe this is something we're going to try to do again in the near future, if it be Allah will and pleasure. And we're definitely looking to build that bridge. We can't no longer sit on the sideline and watch somebody else do what we can actually do for ourselves.
Yes, sir. No, you're 100% correct. I'll send a few shout out first to my wonderful wife, Weliullah. She said, that's right, we're in the same fight. I wanted to, of course, Sister Mary, I see Sister April X Akbar, D Love London, Sister Brenda Muhammad, I see Brother Ricky Norwood. I see others. I just turned it on, so I wasn't able to get everybody who's
Oh,
been
okay,
on.
okay.
But all those that are watching that came on our Facebook Live page from Muslim Aid or our YouTube page, Brother Tony, man, I'm grateful and thankful, and just want to shout out to Sister Linda as well. For you
Yeah,
know,
I better
for
send
you
my
and-
wife a shout out because
I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's all right, brother. That should have been one of the first shout outs out
I
of my
just have to
mouth.
thank her for you.
Thank you.
Because oftentimes, you know, she let you go and run, and I
Yes.
know she'd always
She
been
does.
very supportive of you and anything you have done,
Mm-hmm.
and her spirit to us have always been so great. So I just want to say thank you, but I'll let you send your own shout out.
Yeah, hey, baby.
Gotcha. Listen, let's do this again next week, Thursday. If you got Thursday, but check. Let's see what you got.
Hey, whatever we do, we're gonna make it happen. I'll be there Tuesday for the food drive.
Right.
You want
right.
to tell them where it's gonna be at?
We will be at, and that's a good point. You know, we're gonna be at 404 Euclid, which is one of our distribution points, but our main site is at 6601 Imperial Avenue, where we have our storage containers. And in the next couple of weeks, you probably won't notice it with the tents and the facility that we are putting up. We're actually getting the numbers to see how many people have we served. 50% is repeat, but we believe since the first week of April, over 100,000 people have been served, over 20,000, 25,000 families. And when we say 100,000 people, we're talking about every week we serve between 12 to 1,500 families,
Yes.
about any place from 6 to 7, 800 at the at 404. Then we have Toomey Park that we do. Then we have a lot of different places we deliver to, recovery homes and things of that nature. And then at 6601 Imperial on Fridays, at from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we also have another drive-through distribution. So the food that we give is 2 healthy bags of food. We probably need to weigh it. I know it's got to be 20, 30 pounds of food in 2 bags that we give. And usually the food we give can feed a family of 3 to 5 people for probably 4 to 5 days, you know, with the different things that we have. And some weeks it's more. Other weeks, you know, it may not be as much, but we try to make sure we have eggs and milk. Sometimes we have different meats and everything else like that. We also have a tremendous cadre of volunteers.
Yes.
And that are part of I My Brother's Keeper, but Mosque number 8 have been phenomenal. Over 15, 20 believers from Mosque number 8 have been consistent coming. Some have never missed a day from day one. And I got a shout out to my wife again, because she ain't missed a day from day one. Wasn't feeling good, went to the car this past week, relaxed, got her a little smoothie and came back out and pushed. But many other believers that have not missed day one, and then many others that have not missed since they started in day 2. So I want to shout out to them and all of those volunteers from I My Brother's Keeper, Paving Great Futures, those from the lodge, yourself, Tony, your family, and those. But everybody who's come down to help us, we're going to be pushing harder. We'll be there this Tuesday. We start the line at about 2:30, and we're usually done by 5. And we usually do between 550, 600 to 800 families every Tuesday. And then we have Fridays that we do 2 distributions, and then during the week.
Don't you do one on Wednesday also?
Wednesday we stopped doing on Wednesday because it turned into 20 to 25 hours a week. And, you know, my staff at RBW Security, they work on a regular basis. I mean, we've had to put security on our storage facility inside at night because, you know, you got units on there, you got food on there. And so it's been a tremendous effort, you know, so we're thankful. You know, so Tuesday, if you know anyone you want to pick up for somebody, in a little while you will be able to go to iambkcdc.org. That's iambkcdc.org, and you can actually register for delivery, and we will deliver it. But that is for senior citizens, and don't let us have to check your ID, senior citizens, and those that are physically handicapped. So those will deliver to you. If you just don't have no food, you have no transportation, you call us, we ain't gonna not deliver to you, but we don't want to get into that type of delivery business because we don't have the staff to be able to do that. So for now, we limit it to senior citizens and the elderly, and the physically disabled. So thank you for being able to get that shout
I'm gonna
out.
share something with you that most people they know, but that most people don't know. Before we close tonight, the minister was initiated, passed, and raised. It wasn't an honorary thing like we went and said this is honorary. It wasn't that.
Okay.
He went through a process. And a lot of people's like, minister? I said, yeah. Minister wanted to go through the process. He was like, no. I want to go through this.
While y'all were there,
While we was there, we had a private, separate ceremony from the honors that we bestowed upon him. You see all the pictures and the stuff.
Right. Yes.
That was after that. There was a private ceremony that was done for the rights of becoming a Mason. So he went through the process. Nobody could ever say minister was honored. Oh, he was. They just gave. No. He went through the process. There was 6 of us there in this private ceremony, including Don.
Yes.
And his top security.
Brother Mark.
Yes.
Well, Mark was there, who was also a Mason, and I don't want to say what they call Money Mark, but Brother Mark was there. You're talking about Brother Donald. Well, probably not that Donald. Probably would have been Wazir.
Don, the one that does all his handling, that.
Yeah, it's Donald.
Oh, okay.
But his new name is Wazir.
Okay,
now.
yes. Yeah. He was there, and his top security guy, Brothers Mitchell.
Wazir. Don Enoch was in there, but Wazir is the minister's security person. Yeah.
They went through the process too.
They went through the process.
They went through the process too.
Okay, so I gotta tell Don he gonna probably want to come take my apron. you know what I'm saying?
Don went through the process, and so people can say what minister did do, but they can't deny that he didn't go through the process.
Brother, the honor was the minister takes every single thing, particularly from his own people, in such a great honor. And as we were talking to him, we were traveling with him, he was very grateful for the process and for everything that was done. He doesn't take any of that lightly. So we're honored to you and the brothers from the lodge for taking the time out and doing it. I'm honored for being here with you tonight, and I look forward for us coming back and doing it again.
Most definitely.
Love you, my dear brothers, and may Allah bless y'all.
I'm sorry we didn't take no calls today. I was looking, but I'm sorry.
Next time we'll do it. We'll try to figure out how to do it. And
they just call in on the phone.
They just call right on the phone.
They just call me right on the phone.
Oh, so we'll start doing that, and then we'll start next week.
Oh, next week. So we're gonna come back for a part 2 next week.
6 o'clock.
We're gonna call it the Muslim and the Mason.
The Muslim and the Mason. The Mason and the Muslim. I don't know what we call it. Let's think about it. Talk to our team and see what they say.
Oh, right? No doubt about it.
Love y'all. God bless.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. And as I always say, the higher you climb, the clearer the vision. And whatever you do, stay out the bushes and keep your light on.
I'm with that 100%.
All right, then.
All right.
Peace.
That was awesome.
All right.
Should I post mine? I should.